The Panthers drafted a running back in the second round. They took the first running back off the board in Jonathon Brooks. I don't think it was the right pick.
Why?
Because I think it was too early to go running back. I think the Panthers have too many other needs. I think the gap between the running back that you trade up for in the second round and the running back that you wait for in the fifth round wasn't big enough, right? Meanwhile, the gap between maybe a receiver or a offensive lineman that you draft in the second round versus what you get in the fifth round is big enough to warrant the pick. However, I don't know if this year's draft was all about getting the most value from every pick for Dave Canales and Dan Morgan, the D&D duo. I think part of it was with their actions setting a culture of what's going to be important with the Panthers. Here's Dave Canales and what Jonathon Brooks brings as a running back.
Versatility, first and foremost. Our system calls for a back that can be used, of course, just in a traditional way, hand it to him. Then how can we get this player in space, being able to get him in perimeter screens, check downs. We got a really cool empty package where we use the backs, flex them out to get matchups, things like that. He's a bigger back. He's got range. There's so much that he brings from a versatility standpoint. That's probably the biggest thing that stood out. And then just vision, patience, contact balance, acceleration. Like, he's got it all. He's the best back in this class, and we were so fired up to just be able to bring him in and create that competition that Dan talked about.
Run the darn ball. That's what I think the message they're sending by drafting a running back in the second round is it's part of establishing their identity. Oh, no one else wanted to draft a running back until we did? That's because we want to run the ball more than everyone else in the league.
Well, someone had to be the first to take a running back.
I think they could have gotten it without trading up.
Well, I think they also moved down previously in that round as well. So let's keep that in mind in terms of context too here.
Yeah, it could have had, what was it, an extra fifth? On a team that needs fifths.
Well, that's what they got.
No, I'm saying they gave up the fifth to move up on that last little bit, right?
Oh, they got it in the third round. They recouped it when they moved down in the third round.
My point is, I'm not saying that they didn't net make up positives, including trading down from the top of the third or top of the second. I'm saying that they could have stayed where they were without going back up to get a running back that I mean, quite honestly, I don't think they should have taken a running back in the second because as the league showed, the value in running back was deeper. My point is this. They weren't trying to bleed every bit of value out of this pick. They wanted to get their running back in which most teams don't see value in, just the position as a whole. They wanted to get their guy to send a message to everyone, we are going to run the ball. And we are going to do it often. And I've used this stat in the past, but Rachaad White, in the 1 year that Dave Canales has been the play caller, the offensive coordinator for an NFL team last year in Tampa, Rachaad White was second in the league in touches. He had 272 carries. That's old school carries, turn and handoff, pitches, counters. And then he had 64 receptions. That is a ton of touches for your running back.
It's a lot of work.
So I don't think any one player is going to get all those touches for the Carolina Panthers, but I think Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders and now Jonathon Brooks, and not necessarily in that order, are going to be getting a ton of touches, which is one of the messages that you've heard is run the darn ball, run the darn ball. If they haven't said it as explicitly as that, their actions have. But also another message they're sending is the path to making Bryce Young a better football player, a better quarterback, a better passer is to build his passing game off the running game. This group of decision makers for the Panthers did not draft the consensus premium positions. 3 of their first 4 picks were not quarterbacks, edge rushers, offensive tackles, cornerbacks. Only one of their first 4 picks was wide receiver. Those are kind of the 5 that get positional importance. Right? Oh, you're a second round grade on our board, but you play offensive tackle, you'll probably be a first-round pick. Oh, you're a third-round pick on our board, but you're a corner, so you'll probably be a high second. Running backs, it's, oh, you're a first-rounder on our board, but you're a running back, so you'll probably be a third. Like that's how running backs works in reverse. And Jonathon Brooks, I'm not sure if in a traditional year, like he's nowhere near the prospect that Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs were, right? That's why they went high first. But those are the guys that tend to buck the trend, not the guy coming off the ACL injury. If there's one thing I know about this draft, I disagree with just like it's not always like a, political debate disagree where we're just so far on opposite ends of the spectrum that we're never going to see eye to eye. I disagree though on shades of gray with most of the picks that the Panthers made. But I cannot be confused with the team they are trying to put on the field. They are trying to be old school. They are trying to be a Panthers team that we recognize from the history books. They are trying to be defense and run the football and have a quarterback that's clutch enough to make a few plays on third down when you need him to. Other than that, turn and hand the ball off. So maybe that's why I disagree with some of their plays, because if I were an offensive coordinator, I wouldn't design my offense in the same way Dave Canales does. It would be a more modern offense. But I'll be darned if Panthers fans won't get jacked up for 6 consecutive handoffs. They will. It's in their DNA a bit. Keep pounding, right? Keep handing the ball off. And I have no doubt there's going to be stretches where they do that. I've told this story in the past, but it's one of my favorite stories from my playing career, where in high school we were up, 3 or 4 touchdowns on somebody. And my high school coach was the type of old school coach where if you had like a 2 or 3 score lead, no matter how good your quarterback and receivers were, you weren't attempting a pass for the rest of the game. We were going to keep the clock rolling, and we were going to run the football. And we were running a particular pull play where our left guard had to pull, and we were having success with it, and he kept doing it, until one time we were in the huddle, and my guard looked at me and he's, tell coach we can't run it anymore. I'm too tired. So, this is old school quarterbacking where you run to the sideline to get the play and then run in to call it in the huddle. So I ran to the sideline and I told Coach, I said, Coach, his name was Pat. I said, Pat can't run the play, can't run 46 anymore. Coach said, took a breath, looked at me and said, tell Pat we're running 46 all night. And for the rest of the game, we just ran pull plays for him because Coach was mad that he asked for a break. And we had a lead, so it wasn't a huge deal. I think Panthers fans would kind of love that offense. If it's just like, we're going to run the ball off tackle all night, right? When everyone in our stands was going, what are they doing? They're just running the same play over and over again. The Panthers fans would be going, they're just running the same play over and over again, and they can't stop them. Dave Canales is going to give you those moments. This draft proves it to me. He's going to give us those moments where he's just going, I don't know if the Falcons' run defense can stop Brooks, Hubbard, alternating up the middle over and over again. And he's going to be in the little headset of Bryce Young saying, tell them they're doing a great job, picking up 4 yards a carry. Mm-hmm. We're just going to keep doing it.
Churning out 4 or 5 yards.
And they're just going to keep doing it. And this draft confirmed that. Every once in a while, maybe play action. Maybe. If it's 2nd and 8. You didn't get the 4 yards on first down. Maybe play action.